Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this one, we need to talk about some possible shenanigans going on over at Goldin auctions. Now, before we really get into it, I don't mean to, spread conspiracy theories here, or I don't mean to, point the finger and say that there's any wrongdoing going on. I'm just here to sort of talk about some of the odd high figure sales we've been seeing for a lot of books that I think us in the community would deem as fairly common. And so in this video, I wanted to bring it forward and shine a little bit of a spotlight on this. Maybe we as a community can talk about what's going on here, sort of figure out if there is any, shenanigans going on. And if not, we can at the very least, conclude that, hey, if you're somebody out there buying comic books on auction houses, at the very least, try to understand what fair market values are. Try to, price match as best as you can, and don't get tunnel vision into the one book you're looking to bid on. But of course, before I get into the video, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps support the channel, doing those things. But let us get into this one here today. Now, in front of you, I have the Goldin Auctions website pulled up. For those who don't know, Goldin Auctions is run by Ken Goldin, and is one of the big collectible auction houses. I think it's fair to say that their bread and butter is mostly in the sports collectibles world. But of course, they do sell comic books, as you see in front of you, and they do sell other things like Pokemon cards and art and things of the collectible nature. And of course, they have a Netflix show that is going on right now called The King of Collectibles. It's a reality-based series that sort of follows Ken Goldin. There's a lot of celebrities there like Logan Paul, and here you see Peyton Manning, that are talking to him about collectibles. And, I think it's a really fun show and a lot of people like to watch it. And at the end of the day, that could explain why they are getting the numbers that they're getting on a lot of their comic books. Perhaps there are buyers out there that, just want to be able to buy from this auction house that they love because they've been following the show. But let me sort of digress on that talking point and actually kind of back it up a little bit here. Let me kind of explain to you guys how this sort of came, to my whereabouts and how I really decided to make this video here today. Now, there had been some weird sales going on for a lot of books, and some people had been DMing me, these images, but I kind of dismissed them as sort of one-off things. I think if you see, one odd sale here and there, that can just be an anomaly. And then if you see two of them, that can be, a coincidence. But then when you start to get to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, then it starts to be a little bit of a trend. And that's kind of why I decided to talk about it with you guys here today. Now, a few days ago, I made this video, the Russo brothers returning to the MCU, this one right here with the thumbnail, "We Are Back." And in that video, I was just sort of talking about, the news that, hey, the guys are coming back, and they're maybe going to direct the Avengers movies. And I did a little bit of a check-in on some of the books related to, the Avengers films, like Avengers #1 and Kang the Conqueror, and also Secret Wars #1, the one by Jim Shooter from 1984. And I decided to, scroll down and take a look at some of the 9/8s. Like, let's see how these things are selling. We see a couple here, $225, $248, $200. So, a $250 book, 30-day moving is $321, 1 year average is $270. But then I got to this one right here, $738, which is a lot bigger, obviously, than the $200 level. And we see that this one came from Goldin Auctions. And as I go over here to this book, I thought to myself, well, maybe this is like a double cover. Maybe it's a newsstand copy. Maybe there's something, special about this book. And as far as I can tell, this is just your run-of-the-mill, normal version of Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #1 in the 9/8. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe that's just a coincidence. It just sort of sold for $738. And then I went down again. Here's another $223, a fixed price on eBay. And then here's another one, $793, an auction on Goldin, once again. $793. And again, I thought to myself, is it a double cover? Is there like a rare special variant thing going on with this one? And I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys can point it out to me, but I certainly don't see one. And then I start to go through, a bunch of the sales here on this book. And what do I keep seeing? Well, here's another Goldin Auction one. Now, this one is only $610, but that's still a lot higher than, the ones around it, especially since whoever bought this one on $627 for $610 literally could have hopped over to eBay and done this fixed price buy it now the next day for $220. So that was very strange to me. And then you go back here and look, $1,586, another auction for this book from Goldin that sold at this price point. And so this got me sort of wondering, like, what is going on here? Like, is there some weird sort of, money laundering, shill bidding sort of operation going on? Or are the buyers on Goldin auctions just not privy to what the fair market values of this book actually is? So anyways, I had that discovery in that one video, and that kind of, put me in a place where I felt like I needed to talk about this. Now, this is the original post that was sort of shared with me. And there were a lot of people in the community that, were reacting to this one, and for good reason, because you can see right in front of you, this Batman Killing Joke, #1 from 1988, first print, sold at auction for $3,782 with 67 bids. This was an auction that closed on 6-20. And as you guys can see from the comments, a lot of people here were like, hey, total BS. This is a $200 book that has cap written all over it. Why would someone pay this for a $200 book? Is this a variant only asking because recent sales around are $205? And I think all these people make a point here that it's very, very strange to see this book sell for that much money. Now, Sean Goodrich, I think, works for Goldin Auction. This is his account sharing this. He's one of the consignor for comic books. And obviously he posted this, being very excited about the price. I mean, absolutely. If you're somebody who's consigning this book and you're able to sell this book for 20x of the value of what it actually goes for, on places like eBay, I mean, I would be very excited too. I'd be definitely sharing this one as well. But he didn't seem to, question what was actually going on with the sale. But again, I just dismissed it as not being a big deal, maybe another one-off situation. Well, over on Sean's profile, he's been sharing a lot of books that have been going up for sale. And after that one, The Killing Joke, he also shared this Wolverine #1 in a CGC 9.8 that sold for $1,729 with 54 bids. Now, based on the premise of this video, I'm sure I don't have to explain to you guys that that number is ridiculous, considering, the recent comps for this book are actually more around the $400 price point, $680 right here, $430 right here, $510, $650. So again, very strange that this book would be selling for that much money. Now, again, it could have just been one person on Goldin Auctions who really, really loved Wolverine, and they only want to buy from Goldin Auctions, and this is where they go to buy the book. But then you move forward to this sale right here that just ended the other night on 7/20 for another Wolverine limited #1 in a CGC 9.8 that sold for $3,050 with 43 bids. Again, I ask, what is going on here? Why are people paying this much money for what is seemingly a normal version of this book? And again, if I am mistaken here in covering this, please explain to me, guys, if I am missing something here, like this is a double cover, or this is, the special, error variant edition. Maybe there's something to it that, I'm definitely missing. But it doesn't stop, because if I go back to Sean's post right here and I go up to, another Wolverine set that recently sold that he shared, I mean, here is a 4-book Wolverine set, issues #1 through 4, seemingly normal copies of this book. And again, the entire set sells for $1,098 with 59 bids. Here you see a person that's saying, like, why would somebody pay that, considering that normal versions of this set sell for like $125? I mean, it's not uncommon to hop over to eBay and to find prices for the 4-book set, even around the $100 price point or $200 price point, or, something. It's not that hard to find this book. I mean, they're everywhere. Now, it's interesting here because if this is a real number, I just want you guys to know that this would absolutely be the record price for this book. I mean, we just set a new record here in this down market of comic books. Somebody paid the whopping price of $3,000. This exceeds, the record price that someone paid in 2021 for the book at $1,365. So there you go. Maybe someone is just really, really excited about Deadpool and Wolverine, willing to pay that price. Now, it is important to note that that sale has not yet figured its way into Go Collect, nor has it figured its way into GPA. But the one I showed you previously, that was 1,700, is in fact here logged into Go Collect. You can see 1729 auction on Goldin on 6/20. So this one did get factor in, although GPA did not factor that one in. So, here's where it gets a little bit confusing. Was it a real sale? Did someone actually pay for it? It's sort of hard to tell, but we can definitely see that, at least in Go Collect's eyes, this is a confirmed sale. Somebody actually did pay that number to get this book. And so I guess I'll end it right there and sort of pose it back to you guys. I mean, what is going on with a lot of these sales going on at Goldin? Is it just possible that, the people that are buying over there are just, big fans of the Netflix show, and they don't know the fair market values? I mean, at the very least, again, I'm not here to say that there's conspiracy or shill bidding, guaranteed going on, or money laundering or whatever. I'm sort of just floating it out to you guys, and I would love to know the answers. If Sean is out there and he wants to, come on the channel and talk about this, maybe we can have a conversation. I did reach out to Goldin Auctions, email just to sort of inquire about this stuff to see if I could get a little bit of clarity. But either way, what I would say to you guys is, at the very, very least, know what you're bidding on, know what you're buying, make sure that you are sourcing prices, and don't get tunnel vision, and definitely don't pay $3,000 for what is a $400 comic book. It's just not worth it. There are other versions out there. Don't get tunnel vision. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think is going on out there? Again, I'll say that one sale can be an anomaly, 2 sales can be a coincidence, but once you get to 3, 4, and you see it in multiple versions of multiple books, that seems to be a trend. Anyways, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.